And then this guy I would probably F, and then
Good shit.
this guy I
Good
would
shit.
kill because I
Okay, you
don't.
gotta be specific. Anthony Dream
Oh,
Johnson.
sorry, Anthony Dream Johnson I'd F,
What would
and Jack
no,
Murphy.
you flipped it.
So this is what's going on right now. This is a video or a clip of Pearly Things on, I think her name is Torsha, and they're playing the game F Mary Kill. So there's a reason why the Anthony is playing this video. We're gonna see.
You wanted to kill him.
No, I wanted to kill this guy,
No!
but I don't know the.
Oh
I just this the
God!
other guy was younger, like, but I don't.
You flipped it. You wanted to kill him.
No, I wanted to kill this guy,
No!
but I don't know the.
Oh
I just this
God!
the other guy was younger, like he's better looking.
So she basically picked Anthony to F, right?
The Manosphere in recent like 1 or 2 years has been invaded by women. It's been invaded. It's been invaded by red pill hoes as it's collided with mainstream. I think because these red pill hoes see all these betas who are like very beta, naive, gullible. They want to be pandered to in a way like a politician would pander to a voting demographic. So these red pill hoes like Real Femme Skankian, Horsha, these are names I make up for them. Just Pearly Things though is a real name for that chick. She has like 1 million subs now. These women are just predators who are just feeding you what you want to hear. And it's pathetic and it's sick and it needs to stop. But anyway, it's kind of a tangent I wanted to throw in there.
Well, yeah. I mean,
So basically, he's essentially calling them grifters. And he's gonna explain a little bit more the hustle because it's all essentially a hustle in his opinion.
I'll say two things to that. I mean, on one hand, 100%, it's a money grab on the part of a lot of these women. I mean, look, you can see this just in the general manosphere on Twitter. When I first came on Twitter in 2015, there's almost like no women at all. It was like if you saw a random girl who was around there, she was like, she was like weird.
So he's talking about the history of the Manosphere, and what I need to mention is that it began with the white Manosphere, and then black people within the white Manosphere decided to create their own black Manosphere, but it's all under the same umbrella of this idea of a men's movement, to say it lightly.
Doesn't mean that like she was a bad person or anything. Maybe you're mutual, but she was like weird. It was like a weird place for her to be. And then you kind of got to 2018, and there were a scattered number of girls there, but they were really low profile, mostly lurkers. 2019, certainly 2020. I mean, there were so many women who started coming into the space.
Yep.
So essentially, it began with men only, and then eventually over time, more women came into the space, and now we're at the point where Just Pearly Things is the woman king of the Manosphere. Like all of the Manosphere, essentially. They call her the female Andrew Tate.
And I'll be blunt about it. A lot of them would say the exact same thing, regurgitate exactly what a man would say, but they're going to get 3 to 5 times the engagement.
Yes.
Because
it's sick.
Yeah, it is sick. And I think, this is a black pill statement about men and where men are right now. Because even men in the manosphere who are trying, who are really, I think a lot of them truly trying to become more masculine, to get out of the longhouse, stop being a bitch. Hot girl says something, and sometimes like not even like super hot, just like cute girl something, and
not even
like,
sometimes men
smash that like.
Yeah, you see, so essentially there's a group of men will say feel disgruntled, but then they receive validation from women saying the same talking points, essentially.
But it's like, and I don't want to be petty about it, but can you imagine our grandfathers in this situation? I mean, it really does. And I think in certain cases it gets very annoying to me, because you can tell that the women who are putting this stuff out there, it's not even like they necessarily know what they're talking about. They just are saying stuff that's maybe going to get attention, and this guy needs to be a super alpha. Men aren't, like,
allow me to.
So you see, it's essentially just regurgitated. They see the game that's being played.
Allow me to double down.
Women. Talk to women.
They
Women need help.
they not only don't know what they're talking about, they don't even care.
Yeah.
They're just saying what they're pushing, whatever pain buttons or whatever emotional buttons in these guys or whatever even ideological buttons they want to hear. You know, these hoes ain't loyal. Yeah, she's not yours. It's just your turn. $5 super chat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're just pushing buttons to make money. They don't give.
Yeah.
These women, they're predators, and they're not like sociopaths in some clinical sense, but they're sociopathic in that they really don't give. It doesn't matter to them.
So this he's talking about somebody that openly said that she would F him. So like he does not care. He does not care at all that Pearly Things may be a fan. That doesn't matter to him.
They're like,
Yeah.
look at all these simps.
And there would be a case for him to say this if she mentioned to unalive him.
That's dude. Just Pearly Things is a 5. She's a friendly 5 on a good day. I mean, just gross, right? She looks like Shrek's ex-wife. I call her. She's a.
See, this is the only thing I disagree on about the 5, because if he's saying she's a 5 and then calling her Shrek, then he probably means like maybe a 3 or a 2, because 5 is more so average. People think 7 is average, which technically is not true. Like numerically, it's not true. 7 is not average. 5 would be average because numerically it is average, right? So, and he calls her Shrek, like he just does not care at all.
A gross woman, but these Shrek's ex-wife. I call her 5 on a good day. I mean, just gross, right? She looks like Shrek's ex-wife. I call her. She's a gross woman, but these dudes simp for her to an astounding degree, and it's like, this is gross, and she doesn't care. She doesn't know anything. She's some 25-year-old bimbo, a friendly 5 bimbo. I mean, it's just like just completely average and mediocre as you could possibly get. And yet she tells these guys what they want to hear, and they fucking eat it up. And then they stay, let me put this too, they stay stuck like a hamster or like a slave in this like pen.
See, that's the thing with a lot of these males occupying the dating relationship sphere space. It's only about complaining. So they have grifters, and they could be men and women. They can be men and women, giving them confirmation bias. So everything they felt about women, they're getting the confirmation bias from Just Pearly Things, Real Femme Sapien. Basically, not just the women, but the men as well too. But
one thing that amazes me, I think.
So there's another one as well too, because he actually
So my
goes
contention
in.
is that these guys in the red pill space these days, which is, you know, a big chunk of the manosphere, they take this red pill, they wake up and they realize feminism's stupid, it's all a scam, it's a really like a hateful movement, men should be masculine. They get some ideas, right? But they don't realize that they're still living in this like system of control. They're not really free. And that's why you have these guys, they support, for example, these simp for what I call red pill hoes. Just Pearly Things, Real Femme Skanky and her little friend. These are some big YouTubers sometimes. Pearly has like 1 million fans now. Almost all dudes that simp for her. And they think that they're red pill because she panders to them and tells them what they want to hear. This to me is pathetic. It's delusional. Like you're not, you didn't wake up from shit. You still, now instead of simping on OnlyFans, you're just simping on YouTube.
Right.
Instead of simping on OnlyFans, you're simping on YouTube. And I could agree with what he's saying. Essentially, just the way how you just read the comments and what they're interested in. They're not interested in the self-help aspect of becoming a better man. They're interested in the fresh and fit, women getting kicked out, putting women in their place. It's just essentially this whole dating relationship sphere has become a blood sport for males to watch as their favorite creators going on women. And usually these women are all pretty much the same type of women, the type that goes out to the club and everything. When you only speak to one specific group, then a lot of these males base their whole worldview that all women are the same.
It's pathetic. So, and the same thing with red pill frauds. All these guys, a lot of these red pillars, Donovan Sharp, for example, Donovan Sharp, for the past 5-6 years on YouTube, he's got almost 200,000 subs right now. he's been making fun of a lot and aggressively, even more than I would. Single moms, fat women, old women, all this shit. And what did he do? He secretly wifed up an old fat woman who's also a single mom. He used to say that her
Boom. Look at that.
kid was her niece, live on the air. She would even say the same thing. And I have the bankruptcy records, the divorce documents. I've even talked to the father. This is her kid. And they've been pretending for 5-6 years on YouTube to scam guys out of money. And Donovan's propped up by Fresh and Fit, fed
See, so it's all about money.
shit all the time. And they've been pretending for 5-6 years on YouTube to scam guys out of money. And Donovan's propped up by Fresh and Fit, fed and shit all the time. He's like one of their top guests all the time, right? This dude pretends to be this red pill alpha male who's going to make fun of fat women, old women, and single moms. And that's his real life. Like, that's what he lives every single day in
But
secret.
men are listening.
See? So, like I said, I mentioned it before, it's not just the women, but it's the men. But he's speaking on this in relation to just Pearly things. So this is what people think about just Pearly things, right? They could see it. I should say they could see the play that's going on. It all goes down to money. So I'm just gonna show an example of these what he said, simps that look up to just Pearly things. Because in the eyes of the white manosphere, she's a 5, not that attractive, right? It just doesn't make sense, but it just goes to show how black males in the space will just pick up anything and just run with it. And that's why she is the woman king now. So now in this video, I did not go looking for any simps. The simp came to me, right? In this video, I did an anti-blackness of Kevin Samuels exposed. I talk about Thomas Sowell, and then I talk about the connection of Thomas Sowell, Kevin Samuels, and just Pearly things, right? In this video, the comment was deleted, but somebody posted a comment that now the comment is deleted, so this is not verbatim, but this is along the lines of what was said. It was said that I was the one that was actually anti-black because I was speaking on somebody who is unalived, essentially, not here anymore. So they weren't there to defend themselves, right? So this person made a comment, right? So I went to go check the page, and the page is called Preference and Passion Over Programming, right? So this is the page we could see here, the avatar, black man, white woman, and then the banner, black man, white woman, right? So let's see what this channel is about. And again, I didn't come looking for this channel. This channel came to me, made a comment about Kevin Samuels, and then deleted that comment. So, deprogramming the Black Inferiority Complex, or BIC, which suppress natural human progression out of men of color. This in turn will facilitate the creation of productive, effective, efficient, innovative, hardworking, and reliable human beings. Right? So this is a black man talking about how the union between black men and white women is going to create reliable human beings. So already we can see subconsciously he doesn't even think of himself as a human being or a reliable, hardworking, innovative, efficient human being. But we can just see that by the videos, the type of, mindset that this person has, right? We just scroll through the videos, you could see why SYSBM exists. That means save yourself, black man. Save yourself from dinner fools. Save yourself, black man. A new world order. You have a black man and an Asian girl. So this is the mindset. I went to the community, which was also interesting as well too. So just gonna scroll down and just show you this type of stuff that this person posts that was mad about me and Kevin Samuels calling me anti-black. So this person who obviously has no we see here, I mean, I've came to the post, save yourself, black man. He said, very true. So black women are turning their men into women, right? I say who is black and who is not black. I decide who is liberal and who is conservative. I choose who you marry, date. I run the community. Yes, queen, right? So, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to this picture. It pretty much says what it needs to say. And if you really think about it, this actually goes back to the whole ideology of Kevin Samuels and the hyenas. Kevin Samuels thinks the black community is run like hyenas, and the women are the matriarchs who dictate every single thing that happens within the community, which is a complete fantasy, right? But there's this idea that black men are completely helpless, like the hyenas, and they have no say so within the community. So this is the type of mindset this person has. Now, it could be different if this person wanted to showcase interracial couples, but in order to showcase interracial couples, he has to throw black women under the bus. We go up to this picture, right? So it says, hat tip to the visualization team at the US Census. We know that you know that we know the communita, right? So he's obviously posting this because of the black lesbian couple here, right? So he has definitely has a negative view on black women. And then I scroll and then I see Pearl. Love Pearl.
This girl, dude, just Pearly things is a 5. She's a friendly 5 on a good day. I mean, just gross, right? She looks like Shrek's ex-wife, I call her.
So looking through. And I actually didn't see the comment. It was actually hidden. I think YouTube blocked the comment for some reason because it did not appear. And then when I actually went through my when I went to the backstage of my channel, that's when I seen the comment. And then a couple of days later it was deleted. So to post Pearl quite a few times, right? And then here is put about goddamn time, go Pearl.
And that's why you have these guys, they support, for example, these Simp for what I call red pill hoes. Just Pearly Things, Real Femme Skanky, and her little friend. These are some big YouTubers sometimes. Pearly has like 1 million fans now. Almost all dudes that Simp for her. And they think that they're red pill because she panders to them and tells them what they want to hear. This to me is pathetic. It's delusional. Like,
So you know what? I actually decided to post a comment, right? So I asked him, and I was definitely trolling 100%, right? Because I seen post Pearl multiple times. I'm like, okay. So I asked, is Pearl your white goddess you've been praying for? Very simple, very you know, I feel like it's a standard question. But this was his response.
Why she is. See, Pearl is far more effective in speaking as a real woman than your dark goddess, the black woman. Your goddess are impotent, and outside of contributing to the increase of the black population by sleeping with as many downtrodden black men as they possibly can, they serve zero purpose in this reality. Now, while you're worried about Pearl, you really should be focused on me. I'm the one who's going to shine the light on just how you and your ilk are a cancer on society, a blight that has existed way past its time. Quote unquote white goddess. Be more focused on the black titans. Titans outrank gods. Now run along before I decide to focus my full attention on you. Good day, sir.
So, as we see here, I did not mention anything about black women, right? Nothing was said about black women. I did not say Pearl is racist towards black women. None of that, none of that, none of that. I did a nice little playful comment, and in the first line, he's thinking about black women. You see, these types, they can't think about white women without having to think about black women. See, that's the trap. They don't even see themselves as they don't even see themselves as healthy or even positive. Their whole motivation is motivated by negative images of black women. The first thing he had to mention was a black woman and that she was my goddess, right? I see he was trying to flip it back on me, but then he went on to continue to say, right, that black women, all they do is sleep with downtrodden black men. So he's obviously mad that black women think he's corny or something. He's probably the nerd that was never really good with black women. So I'm not even trying to say anything bad or negative about having these viewpoints. It's just where is the motivation coming from? Is it coming from negativeness? Is it come from a fetish? These are the things that need to be examined when we're looking at interracial couples. We have to see how healthy those couples actually are. And we can see just from the mindset, all I said was, is Pearl your white goddess you've been praying for? He should have been happy, but I guess he thought he was trolling back, but really he exposed himself on how depraved he is in his mind. And he's essentially one of the simps that Anthony was talking about and just feed into every word, right? She is more effective, is what he put, in speaking as a real woman, right? So he doesn't consider black women to be real women. But like I said, the mindset is so depraved already, probably even before just Pearly Things came into the picture. It's just now that just Pearly Things is sort of like a catalyst, a confirmation bias to his beliefs, essentially, right? So just Pearly Things wasn't even the problem. But when you have this mindset already, and then you add just Pearly Things into the equation, we could see how toxic it really is, right? So let me just show one more thing. So he decides to post what I said, right? And we'll just see the other people in here. Says, I'll have a bout with depression after this one. Nothing more need to be said. Bro might as well delete his whole account after that one, right? So they're just supporting, more simps essentially that all they do is worship the ground that just Pearly Things walks on. These are the simps essentially.